Put that on your bingo card there, huh? But Mike makes a fool of himself on every square. Guaranteed success.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 134. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions and gave us a couple nice teasers for Cycle 2, which is coming on July 9th. And for anybody that caught Dev Chat bingo, we did have a bingo today on the bottom. Dev Chat Bingo continues to grow in popularity. Come by the stream on Friday, Aaron Action RPG on Twitch. All right, let's get into our first question. And this is around re-rolling idols or uniques.
Any plans on adding a system/mechanic or maybe an item that allows for re-rolling stats on uniques/idols? It is very painful and anticlimactic to get a very rare unique, even rare 1/2 LP, just to discover that it rolled lowest possible stats/implicits in a given range.
Good question.
We don't have any active plans to do something like that right now. It's not like we never do something like that, but so we just don't messing things up. Oh, keyboard shortcuts. Learn them. They're good.
Give him a sec.
There we go. Better. Yeah, we don't have any, like, there's nothing in a pipeline to say like, oh, do this. But you know, I don't think it's a impossible thing. There's a lot of different things that go into making the perfect item, and we're really not trying to set people up for the expectation of getting the perfect item. The more tools we give people to be able to customize items to make them perfect, sometimes it makes it more, it increases the expectation of where items are in the quality spectrum, on their way to perfect type thing. And
correct.
So like adding in something like this does increase the ability to make like you can make a better item possibly by taking those things you found and re-rolling them and all that sort of stuff. But then because this new tool's added in, the expectation of what items you have and the quality of the items you have goes up with it. And I think that there's, you know, such a thing as too many ways to improve your items, and you know, the expectations of items being too perfect, such that you know, drops, like things that just drop without any modification on them can feel underwhelming because you have to. And this is sort of the line we've been writing, because there are so many things you can do to items that quite often already, even in Last Epoch, when an item drops, you kind of have to be able to see what it could be, not what it is. Which is,
and that's what he's getting at, is that it will take away the excitement too of drops. Now let me give you a simple example. Zizarin made his Herald of the Scurry helmet have extreme roll ranges, but if you get a good one, you got a good one. And sometimes you finally find one, you could still make a build with squirrels, but there is a good Herald of the Scurry, there's a great one, and there's a terrible one. And I think that adds to the excitement of the item. Buckle up for the rabbit hole of nerfs. Listen to this.
are you going to nerf builds like Frostclaw Runemaster and Jailcraw's Marksman that people enjoy playing to the point where they are unplayable next cycle, or are you going to rather buff all the underwhelming or outright bad builds in the game? I think that the situation is so much more complex than this question allows for an answer to. So I'm not going to answer the question directly. I think that it would be foolish of us to take either or of those stances and do one or the other. It should definitely be both. Yeah, it's taking an absolute view of the situation and being like, we're gonna nerf everything or buff everything and just do one is just not. It's both are gonna end up with severe problems in the very near future. So like we have to look at the overall landscape of like how builds are performing and certain things that there are certain things that are dramatically way too high right now in power levels, and those will come down. Yes.
This led to this question.
Is there going to be any changes to corruption scaling and or certain skill mechanics that and interactions to prevent builds from reaching 4,000 plus corruption. Prevent's kind of a strong word there, but yes. Like there's no plans in the code to be like, if corruption is above this number, stop increasing it. You know, like we don't plan to put that in, but like 4,000 corruption is like every adjective of that's you know every adjective that's crazy, over the top, mega, super humongous, overpowered, way too high are the terms I would use to describe 4,000 corruption.
Successful build, EHG has already said between 2 and 300 corruption. Just continue to keep that in mind. This led to this question.
Considering stuff like 4,000 corruption is never supposed to be achieved, why is it a thing? Because we made a mistake and builds got way more powerful than we thought they ever could. I get that having an infinitely scaling difficulty is nice and all, but how different is it really from something like the difficulty scaling of greater rifts, which isn't as fluid as corruption, but is still smooth difficulty curve that caps out at a certain point, at which point people can try to clear the content faster if they want to be competitive. Second question there. Yeah.
Give him a sec.
I don't have a good answer for why it's a thing, really, compared to putting a cap on it. I guess it's just that possibility of it can always go higher. We're, I think, hoping for people to still be able to push higher if they want, but have that rate of pushing higher slow down as they get higher. So, you're not ending up with thousands and thousands and thousands of corruption, but you're still making progress if you really want to push higher. So there's always that, like, it's a higher number, but the differences get harder and harder. Now, yeah, you bring up the other half, that is just having a secondary measuring stick for whatever the top tier is. I think the big it's tricky because it kind of happens anyways with an infinitely scaling system. I think you kind of end up in that, like, if a build can't do whatever the cap is, it's not viable.
Bingo. Small example. Torchlight Infinite. The training dummy caps out at 500 billion damage. So the question whenever I play Torchlight, can this build do 500 billion damage? It'd be the exact same thing. If they made the cap 600, 800 corruption, then the expectation would be for make a build viable, it would have to be 600 or 800 corruption. Now, there was some friendly debate during my stream when we were watching this live. And there was somebody that said, like, what's the problem with having a build that could do 4,000 corruption? They should leave that alone and then move all builds to 4,000 corruption. I 100% am against that. I think having as many balanced builds as humanly possible should be the answer, and pushing builds into the millions, billions, trillions of damage is not healthy for the game. I also don't think it's healthy for the game having the same 3 builds being the top 500 on the leaderboard. I also don't think that's healthy. Now, EHG has said, and I think this is a good philosophy, that they're not about killing builds. They're not going to, unless it's bugged, like unless it's an actual bugged build, that they will kill. But if there's a build, Frostclaw Runemaster, that's 10,000% better than everything, they'll bring it down in line so that now it's still the best, but it's 10%, 20%, 30% better than everything. So you could still play it. It could still be S tier. You could still clear all content, but it's more in line, so at least gives players the option. I like that philosophy. Teaser number 1. Check this out.
Thing. What's that? What's that cool thing there? That looks like a pretty cool thing. Does look like a pretty cool thing. Oh my goodness. Sometimes, Streamlabs. Sometimes.
Me and my chat looked at this pretty cool thing. I want to be clear. I have no idea what it is. Aaron, make an educated guess. My educated guess on what this is a big idol. A void idol. And I'm really hoping that what it is a void idol that can be used on any class to potentially give void to everyone. Yes, I know it's wishful thinking. That's my hope. Buckle up for teaser number 2.
Whoa, what is that?
What is
It's
that?
like a gigantic thing that looks like a... who's it?
An egg.
Egg, give egg, I want egg. All right, calm down, it's coming.
Look at this.
Big omelet incoming.
He's going to show off his ostrich egg, isn't it?
Speaking of giant omelets, this is an ostrich egg. Ostrich emu? Might be an emu egg. But it's like... it's big. It's thick. It's crazy.
Okay. My first guess. These are guesses. Based upon the angle in the picture, I would say that this is a relic. And since it's fire and spiky, the spikes mean something, just like with the ring, probably wishful thinking. I'm going to say a Forge Guard relic. Okay. If it isn't a Forge Guard relic, I am guessing maybe a piece that you need to summon one of the bosses. That's my second guess. You all are going to love this question I asked, and you're going to love even more Mike's answer. I'm so excited for this.
Is blessing switching confirmed for cycle 2? Please say yes. Now we've got to talk about this, unfortunately.
Here it comes.
It's going to be devastating to hear this. But yes. Yes, it is.
Confirmed.
Yeah. It's, as of yesterday finished, I think.
If you have no idea what I'm talking about, anybody that's played Last Epoch to Endgame knows that every once in a while you're hunting for a blessing, but you keep getting perfect rolls of other blessings. Or you switch builds, and now you got to go hunt for those blessings. Well, come cycle 2, any blessing that you select, you keep. Like a codex of blessings. All right, everyone, we have come to the final question of Dev Chat 134. Mike, as always, thank you for these Friday live streams. The community truly appreciates it. You are such a good sport. And Mike is going to take out this video talking about Legacy versus Cycle and what is coming. 2 asks at the end of the video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. I'm hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it. Of course, only if you think I've earned it. If I haven't earned it, I will work harder for you. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. I get asked all the time, what's the best way to support? And Patreon is it. You get access to movie night, game night, VIP content, VIP lounge, and access to audio and video stream with me. It is the first link in the description. I'm done. Mike, take it away.
I'm not sure if this has been asked already, but that's okay if it has. But are there early cycle mainly supposed to just add eternal content, or they're going to be cycle content that goes away after it's over. Nothing in the early, like in the roadmap that was put out, but yeah, the roadmap, pretty well everything that's in that roadmap is intended to become an evergreen content. Whether or not it starts as legacy content, I don't know why I use the term evergreen, that's a Magic term. Whether or not that starts as legacy content or not, we're still kind of working out exactly how we want to handle that, but we are, all those things, all those major things you see in the roadmap, we do intend to be legacy content. It's all designed as, this is going to stick around, this is long-term stuff. We are planning to have this be part of Last Epoch's DNA for a long time. It's being designed and developed as such as well. Like I almost said the boss's name. Oh my gosh. I expect the Pinnacle boss to be a measuring stick for character builds for quite a while. I expect us to release, this is long-term stuff, but I expect us to release new bosses that are stronger at some point, or different at least. But you know, it is kind of the nature of how Pinnacle bosses evolve, is you get new ones that are stronger, new ones that are stronger, that sort of stuff. But we still want, almost said it again, the current Pinnacle boss to continue to be a way to say like, oh, like, can this character build beat this boss? Can it beat that boss? You know, like, I think those are really good things to have. Static difficulty, high difficulty content that you can measure a character against. It's great to have.